Farming has huge prospects, but more farmers are yet to take it up as a commercial venture due to various reasons. But a farmer in Rwanda is already enjoying the benefits of growing mushrooms. Philip Keitani tells us more.
This week's episode of The Next Frontier, we are coming to you from the country of 1,000 hills, and we are visiting a farmer who does mushroom farming, and not just any mushroom, but oyster mushrooms.
This is the cotton husks. It is the main raw material that we use when producing the mushrooms. Two reasons why we use the cotton husks. We may use another material. We have with straw here. We have all other byproducts coming from agriculture. But this one is the good one while you're producing the pleurotus, the variety we are producing right now. Because we have to look at the contamination rate. It has the lowest contamination rate. And also the yields. It's easy to use and it gives the better yields. We want to produce the mushrooms. The first step is to soak these cotton husks in water. We take these bags you see here, they're very big, they're like 80 kilograms. We divide in two, we have small bags, and we put those bags in water. We take the cotton husks, which is wet, we mix with these two other ingredients. This is the wheat bran. The purpose of putting the wheat bran is to give to mushrooms the nutrients. This is what the mushrooms is going to use as nutrients. And this is the lime. The lime is a chemical which is used to bring the pH up because the mushrooms like the places which are alkaline. So we need to bring the pH up to 7 or more than 7. Yeah. So after mixing this to cotton husks, we put in a bag. Our tubes weigh 1 kilogram each tube. There are also some people that make tubes of 2 or 3 kilograms, but ours is, the standard weight is 1 kilo. So we put in a bag. Then after, we go to pasteurization. The pasteurization is the step where we want to kill all other microorganisms that can harm the mushrooms. The first step is to put these bags around here because they're going to protect those plastic from burning. Then we put water. Don't put water, we don't put a lot of water. We just put until it reaches, there is a thing that is going to protect the tubes also, that is going to help us to put the tubes one on top of another one. So we put the tubes like this. We close with this before, then we close like this. Then after they use strings to close well. This is a temperature probe. It's going to be introduced in this and it's going to reach a tube. When you're introducing it, you feel that you're reaching a tube. It has to be inside one tube, which is going to keep controlling the temperature while we are heating. That is the one that is going to tell us if you have to stop or if you have to continue to heat. We can't tell you that we heat for 3 or 4 hours. We just control the temperature and you want it to reach 90 degrees. This is the spawn. I was telling you we have to put the mushroom spawn. The tube that was pasteurized outside, there is no spawn inside. So the mushrooms can't grow inside. There is no mushroom actually inside. So after pasteurization, we have now to put the mushroom spawn, which is this one. We don't have the plastics that have filters. The cotton wool is going to play the role of a filter of exchange between the inside and the outside. If you don't put the cotton wool, you will have the spawn stuck somewhere. It's not like breathing. It has to breathe. After introducing the spawn on top, she puts 2 holes on the side. This is to make the spawn grow faster. This is an inoculated tube. Now, the remaining part is the labeling. You have to write when you inoculated that tube and which spawn you used to inoculate that tube. Yeah, you can see here. It's written 154001I. This is the year. This is the week of the year. This is the number of the batch. It means it's the first batch of week 40, and this is the spawn that we used. When we finish to inoculate the tubes in the inoculation room, we bring them here to incubate them. They stay here for, in average, 3 weeks. As you can see, when they stay here for even 2 days, the mushroom spawn start spreading inside the tube. And the controls that we make here, we come here every day to control the temperature, because the temperature is a very important thing. We control the temperature with this probe. You introduce this probe in the tube inside. We have to measure the temperature inside the tube. We have also temperature probes in the room to measure the temperature in the room, but what is important is the temperature inside the tube. So before you measure, we disinfect the probe, then you can do like this inside the tube, then you see the temperature. It has to be 25. After 3 weeks, you will find a tube has become like this. This is a full tube. This is a ready-to-grow tube. We remove this whole plastic, and then you have a tube like this. And after, we have a small amount of soil in these boxes. We put the tube like this, then we put the soil after. Then after, you put that tube in the soil, you start watering the soil. You water, and after 10 days, you have your first harvest of mushrooms. You can have, this is the second harvest actually. The first one is, a tube lasts 3 months, then after it's exhausted. During those 3 months, you harvest 6 times. After 2 weeks, you harvest. After 2 weeks, you harvest. Yeah. Some people keep the tubes longer than 3 months, but it's not efficient. If you want to gain money, you have to remove and put new ones to have more mushrooms. One tube has the yield of 50%, 50 to 60% of, so you harvest 500 grams to 600 grams in 3 months for one tube. That's why we advise people to grow. The more you grow, the more you have the good yields, and then the more you have money. When you want to harvest, you have 2 baskets. Because you have some waste that we remove on a mushroom, we put them here in the blue basket, and the good mushrooms, we put them in the green basket. So you take a mushroom like this, then you move, you turn like this, then it removes itself. Then you can see there is dust. This is the waste I'm going to put in this. We train people to know which mushrooms are ready to be harvested. If you see the cap is turning down, it's ready. If you see the cap is starting to turn again up, then it's not ready, it's more than ready. You have to dry those mushrooms. So after harvesting the mushrooms, if you want to dry them, this is the electric drying machine that we use. Then after, this is the dried mushrooms. We sometimes transform them into powder. So we have also other products made of mushroom powder. This is the pure mushroom powder, the pure oyster mushroom powder. And after we make the powder, we mix with other spices to make our own spices made of mushroom powder.
If there's anything that I've learned here today about mushroom farming, is that mushroom farming is a serious science that you need to know how to grow the mushrooms before you make it a business.